My name is Containment with ATI Restoration. This is the last day of water mitigation. Typically on the last day, you have very minimal equipment left. Also, the demolition has already been done. You're really only drying the final pieces of framing. This is a containment. It has allowed us to seal off the area, which improves the dehumidification process, but it also seals off any potential hazards that occur. We have cables, demo, anything like that. So since there are not any units, we're able to seal this off. There was a clean water line. As you can see, baseboard removal created weep holes. Because it was a clean water line, we can salvage wooden baseboards. Materials like MDF are not really salvageable. Amenities were also affected, once again for the safety of the tenants and the safety of people generally working. Sealed off this area. When it's sealed off, the dehumidifier once again has a better dehumidification process, allows the materials to dry. As you can see over here, they had cove base. The cove base remained on site over here. So on the repair side, they just slapped the cove base back on there. Very minimal cost for reconstruction. Of course, the floor was not salvageable, water got under, but it's just something that occurs when you're working with those type of materials. All right, so this is the other side of the gym. So once again, for safety and for improved drying, this was sealed off. Just because an emergency has occurred, a flood has occurred, does not mean they are barred from using the amenities. All the amenities were moved out and placed over here. Water restoration is not only restoring the materials, but ensuring that the customers are satisfied as well. In the lounge area, because drywall was porous and because the insulation behind it got affected, 2-foot removals were necessary in order to properly dry out that wall. Secondly, insulation was wet in the ceiling. The pipe burst went directly upwards. So that means that ceiling had to come down. During the process, everything was covered with plastic. Make sure no dust was on any of the surfaces. Make sure everything was blocked off and leave the workplace clean as well. Cabinetry here had to be removed when removing these. Sometimes these are one of one. For example, this was created in Italy. If this was broken during the process of removal or damaged seriously, there's no replacing it, or replacing it can be very expensive. So we always have to be careful when removing things like cabinetry, countertops, or any kind of millwork. Once again, certain materials are restorable and others will not be. This is another example where insulation was wet. However, this was a shared wall. This means the other side had nothing but tile. So in a situation like this, what is cheaper and what is better for the client? This wall was full of mirrors. All the mirrors were taken off intact, carefully placed on the side. So when repairs come, they can do an easy drywall replacement, put the mirrors back, very inexpensive. And always, when mitigating, thinking of that second step that is gonna have to occur. Because once we leave here, another team of workers comes, whether it's ATI repairs or otherwise. We have to make sure we do a good job and make it as easy as possible for the complex to be up and running. With multifamily complexes, it is very important for them to, as quickly as possible, bounce back and get their building back, because that is how they make their money, like we have to make ours. And when we do a good job, they keep calling us back. So this is why you always need to have a competent person with plenty of experience to know how to use the tools as well. So ATI has a really great staff. Structural composition is different. This is double sheetrock with insulation. The other part of the hallway is sheetrock and plywood. You have to use 2 different methods entirely to measure that sheetrock, because you can get a dry reading from the first sheetrock, but the second one can be wet. A month passes and you have a lot of growth and you're wondering why, because you didn't check properly. So here, very minimal 1-foot cut as opposed to the traditional, because we're in a public area and since it's connected to a living space, make sure to put 6mm poly, block out and dampen some of that noise, and to make sure we leave a clean area and a clean path of egress, especially because there's a public space, it's a living space, and people are going into their units here. So once again, this is the last day. Just because ATI isn't here doesn't mean we have to continue to be safe. Caution tape placed, management, maintenance were notified so they can let the residents know to not enter these areas. As per many mitigation water losses, the source itself, so right here, clean water, the room where the source occurred, many times is not the most effective. Many times the water goes down and goes to the floor below or continues to spread out. Or because once again, the structural composition, you have tile. water does not intrude into tile. Since the majority is tile here, there's actually not a lot that we need to dry. There's a few few walls of drywall that are here, created weep holes, we're able to dry it out. This ceiling did not have insulation. Access cut was created. We're able to inspect. Once there's no insulation found, we can determine we can dry in place. Once again, always inspecting, measuring, and thinking. If I don't have to remove this entire ceiling, then I won't do that. It's easier for us, it's easier for the client, keeps us honest, and it keeps us getting called back by the client. So once again, very important, identifying the source. The source will also inform us what procedures we need to take. If it's a clean water source, we can install drying equipment and try to dry out some of the drywall. Had this been sewage, had this been a wax ring leak, any porous material needs to be removed due to the significant health risk. But luckily we were working with clean water, we're able to salvage the vast majority of the wet materials and restore it in a timely and financially efficient fashion. We always have to come in with a calm mind, a clear plan, identify the hazards, identify the loss, and proceed with mitigation as quickly as possible. Always, always, always beginning with extraction. The more water you extract on day one, the better and faster the mitigation process will continue to be. This concludes our mitigation assignment. Mitigation is complete, repairs can now begin. Client can go with contractors or can continue with ATI. On ATI's end, I'm extremely proud of our team because it's a team effort. I can't do this by myself. No one can do this by themselves. It took the project director, the supervisor, and all the technicians to work together efficiently. We got this all done in about less than 5 days. The call came in on a Thursday at 7:30 p.m. By 8:30, we were already here, beginning extracting water. Team worked great and efficiently. They're ready for repairs, and hopefully they can get their building up and running very soon. Thank you all.